Welcome, guys, to the Cocktail Podcast. I'm Andre Orchard. It's my friend James, and also my bar manager, technically bar consultant, officially.
James.
Yeah, that works. There you go, make it easier. Today, we're just going to be making some cocktails, chatting about them, going over some stuff on hospitality, and then just seeing where the kind of podcast takes us. So,
Sounds good to me.
Today, first cocktail we're making is a Caipirinha.
Okay.
So I wanted to go over a little bit of the history, maybe whatever I kind of remember from what I've looked up.
Absolutely.
Go over some tips onto making Caipirinha, you know, your advice for how people can make sure they're making a good one at home.
Yeah, sure.
All of the above, really. So Caipirinha starts off with a lime, rather, as opposed to just lime juice, mainly because of the oils that you want within there.
Yes, within the skin. So
yeah,
if you feel these limes, they're extra sticky. They got the wax on them as well.
Yeah, I did feel that when I got them in.
Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. No idea.
We'll just have to see how it tastes.
It could taste fantastic.
So to start off, I'm just going to roll up these limes if you'd like to do one.
Yeah.
More than happy to.
They just come from the fridge, and this is a good way to make sure the juices are flowing. We're going to smash them up anyway, but it still just helps a little bit.
Okay.
And you can tell how juicy a lime is just by touching it. So that one's probably 80%. It used to be 100%.
Yeah.
That one looks really good to me, but I don't know how do you feel about that one?
Yeah, no, it feels alright. I feel like it should make a good cocktail. So I usually like to cut up my limes into 8 pieces, as opposed to cutting them down the middle and creating nice wedges out of them. I quite like to cut them into quarters like that. James actually taught me that trick in order to get more juice out of the limes itself, as opposed to the actual wedges.
It's kind of the best way for it. I don't know if that's a good example to show, but it just, when you muddle it, when you put it in the drink, it just kind of works a little bit better. Yeah. Is this your lime, yeah?
It's just a lime. So Caipirinha is just 3 ingredients: sugar, lime, and that's your sugar, right?
Yeah.
Sugar, lime, and cachaça, which is a spirit distilled from fermented sugarcane, as opposed to rum, which is kind of made from the byproducts of sugarcane, like molasses. So it's much more like herbally, comparison to rum. But I've seen it phrased as a Brazilian rum, which I thought was quite a nice way to put it. And then what you want to do is just grab your muddler and just really squeeze all the juice and all of the oils.
If there's not enough juice coming out of the lime, just drop a bit more lime juice in it.
Yeah,
obviously.
The best way to tell is to, once you've made it, taste it. If it tastes really sharp, put a bit more sugar in. If it tastes really sweet, put a bit more lime in, just like a couple mil.
If it tastes bland, add more of both.
True.
Do you know, if you go, oh, that just tastes like a kind of soggy cachaça, just put a little bit more sugar, a little bit more lime juice in it, make it bigger.
So depending on how much lime juice you put in, it's either like 20 or 25. I noticed you added a bit more lime juice in.
Yeah, I needed it. That lime, like I say, it looked like it was 80%. It was 80%, so I added just a little bit more, just to help it on its way.
Awesome. Thank you.
And then I'm going to 25 ml sugar. You said you like 20 ml sugar?
About 20 to 25. I don't like overly putting it in, just in case.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then we got the cachaça here.
Yeah, so it's about 20 to 25 ml of sugar. We're using 1-to-1 simple syrup, and then 50 ml of cachaça afterwards, with a whole lime muddled in, and then you just shake it with ice, put it into a rocks glass.
Classically with crushed ice, but our ice is actually it's
quite small as it is.
Quite small ice. I personally like it. A lot of bartenders will not like it. They will say it's very bad ice. Good give a fuck. There's ice in it.
It works?
Yeah. There you go. Straw, sir?
Yes, please. If you go on tap. Thank you.
No worries.
So typically you can garnish it with a lime wedge. I had a chat with James about this before, and he was saying, because it's such a classic cocktail, just likes to leave it quite bare and let the cocktail speak for itself.
Yeah, you just go, there you go. There's your fucking Caipirinha, mate.
Oh. Such a nice drink.
It is. It's just absolutely banging. You can't. Lime juice, sugar, cachaça
Yeah.
works. It's just so simple.
So we're going to take a seat and we're just going to have a chat to James about some thoughts on some things.
Let's drink.
Yeah, one question that I've had from quite a lot of people from working as a cocktail bartender is why should you go for cocktails? Say, for example, some places like Wetherspoons is like £9, right? You get like a whole pitcher. And they go, why would I spend £9 on that when I can just get like a pint, or I can get a double vodka and something, and it will work out cheaper, and I can have two of them, and I end up getting the spirit that I want. I know what it's meant to taste like. If I go for a cocktail, it's going to be more expensive. Don't know how it's going to taste, if I'm going to like it.
Well, if you take Wetherspoons into consideration, first of all, it's very difficult because Wetherspoons, if you're drinking cocktails there, you shouldn't be watching this podcast. That's just how it is. Everyone's invited, of course, but come on, it's just sugar. The nature how they make them, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
but it's just that I just wouldn't touch them with a barge pole because from a cocktail, that's a double shot of cachaça, some sugar and some lime juice, and that's going to get me on my way. There's nothing bad in there.
Yeah,
there's good ingredients. If I go to Wetherspoons, you can pay 50p and just drink top shelf.
Yeah.
So if you go to always order a double and not the cocktail.
Yeah.
But if you go to somewhere else, if you go to like a pub these days, like a nice country pub, you order a G&T, that's going to be £7, £58. So if you want a double G&T, you're going to hit £12.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just choose to go for the cocktail with a double shot of gin in it already?
Yeah.
And then you've also got a nice garnish. It looks pretty. It's probably going to be longer. There's going to be more flavors in there. I mean, I'm not going to put down G&T drinkers. Okay, no, I'm going to put down gin. It's like how many, apart from the pink gins, how many gins across the back here actually have any flavor? Unless you're drinking it in a martini.
Yeah.
Or if you're kind of drinking it straight or tasting it, you're getting fuck all from it when you put tonic with it. Yeah. It just destroys it.
That's why people are so particular as well with what tonic they want. I had a guy come in and goes, "Oh, you don't have Schweppes tonic, do you?" And I go, "No, we've got Fever Tree." And he goes, "Oh, well, thank God, because I can't drink Schweppes anymore." He said, "I find it just ruins my gin and tonics."
Yeah.
Which, I mean, makes a big difference, right?
Yeah.
But when you're making your cocktails, it's all like premium ingredients that are going into it. As long as it's like proper fresh pressed lime juice, lemon juice, the rest of it, it's not going to really be saturated by bad product as such.
Definitely. I mean, Schweppes tonic isn't bad. I mean,
it was just his preference.
Fever Tree stole the market.
Yeah.
With a premium tonic range. Mm-hmm. It was like ridiculous how it moved from Schweppes being like the complete people in charge of it, and then Fever Tree just swooped in. There's not a premium Fever Tree tonic range. Yet.
Yeah. Incoming.
Yeah. Give it 3 years. But as soon as Fever Tree took the market, then Schweppes came in, and I think it's like 1876. So they've made a range with a date on it, and it's just premium tonic. But it's tonic water, like soda water, like lemonade, like what?
Yeah, and a bit of quinine in it.
Yeah. Exactly. It's sorry about my ranting of tonic, but
some guy actually said to me, he goes, "Oh yeah, it's not good tonic water unless it says Indian on it." And I go, "Is that true?" And he goes, "Oh well, if it says Indian on it, then it's got quinine from India within it. It said if it doesn't have the name Indian in it, then it's just artificial quinine that they put in."
But doesn't quinine grow in the UK?
And so I tried to ask him more about it, but this is all he knew, which is what I found interesting, because I had a look at the tonics that we stock on the bar, and the Fever Tree Premium has Indian in it.
Yeah.
The Fever Tree Mediterranean doesn't have Indian in it.
I guess. Just throwing one out there.
Yeah, go for it.
The quinine's from Mediterranean.
Probably. Yeah, not from India.
I don't know.
Might make sense.
I don't know that for sure. Yeah. I'm just guessing.
They were like, "Oh yeah, you know what? If we get the quinine from Mediterranean, we could just market it differently."
Yeah, but that's it. People always think the Mediterranean's lighter than the. I don't know. People like what they like, and that's absolutely brilliant. And I shouldn't put down G&T drinkers. It's the only drinkers I ever put down because it's just such a. Fuck me, I should stop talking.
With us having all of these gins across the back bar as well.
Yeah.
Like the biggest spirit that we have.
You come in, you order a double pink gin tonic. That's £1 more than our trio of Rosé Collins, which has got nearly a double shot of gin in, as well as rosé wine, as well as topped up with prosecco.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for bang for your money, like that is the drink you should have. Or you could order that and pay £1 extra.
Yeah, but people know what that's going to taste like. I think that's what it is as well.
Yeah.
They go for a cocktail and they go, if I spend £12 and it's a big long drink and I don't enjoy it, I'm just going to have to sit through it and like go through it, which is fair, but it's a gamble that, you know.
It's not though. I think if you go into a bar and you receive a drink and you don't like it, say it.
Yeah.
I really don't like this drink. It's only a bad bar. Like, okay, apart from Witherspoons, like you go up to the bar and you say, sorry, I really don't enjoy this drink. Of course we're going to change it.
Yeah.
You know, that drink's cost us £2.50 maximum, and you're paying £12. We can afford to make sure your experience is good.
Yeah.
So it's not just when you get a steak and it's overdone or underdone, send it back. It's also with your drinks. Be confident with them. And also, if you are scared about ordering a cocktail, ask the bartenders, talk to your waiters, talk to the management, and just get their opinion on what you like and what they think you would like, and that you're probably going to end up with a better experience.
As what I do when I go into cocktail bars now, I go in, I chat with like the person who's waiting on me, or I go and chat with the bartender and I go, what cocktail would you enjoy making the most? Like, what's your favorite one to make? What do you think you do really well here as a cocktail? And they'd go, like, for example, when I was in Manchester, they go, we really think we do our old fashions differently, and they're really, really good old fashions. So I'd recommend one of those if you like bourbon.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, absolutely, make one of those. And it was one of the best old fashions I've ever had.
That's perfect.
And so I was really happy with that, literally just from having a conversation with the bartender and figuring out what they would recommend.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing as well, because people look at a food menu, especially in kind of a restaurant area where a bar is attached, like here. And they go, oh, well, I'll ask the server for a recommendation on food, but nothing really happens with drinks. It's just people tend to decide, this is what I like, I'll go for that.
Definitely.
You know?
I always find it important, I've got waiting staff. If one of the waiters ever shows an ounce of interest in, well, what's that drink? What does it taste like? I will make sure I'll overpour a little bit when I'm shaking. They can taste a little bit and I'll explain it to them.
Yeah.
Same with the wines, same with everything. Because it's so important for all of the team to be confident in what they're selling. They're essentially sales.
Yeah.
They're a sales team, aren't they?
Yeah.
Waiters and bartenders. So yeah, it's really important. Just get them fucking drunk.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to have a good time.
Well, an interesting thing I heard, because somebody didn't like, I saw online, someone was like, I don't like the idea that my server's trying to sell to me. And I go, but the best way to think about it is that your server is trying to create the best customer experience for you. Whether it's giving recommendations, they're asking you questions. What do you like to drink? Oh, I don't know. I usually like a gin and tonic. Great. Do you feel like up to a cocktail today? Oh, yeah, no, I could give one a try. Yeah. Okay, so what kind of flavors do you like? And you're just trying to help them enjoy their experience rather than trying to upsell them a cocktail, which you're probably not doing if they're going to go for a double gin and tonic anyway.
Yeah.
You know, then it makes a lot more sense in people's minds as well, I find.
Yeah, I mean, whoever said that is a bit strange, because you don't walk into a car dealership and the salesperson comes up to you and you go, no, please can you stop talking to me about the car that I want to buy? I
don't want to be sold to.
Yeah,
I want to sit here and enjoy the car.
Yeah, where's the booklet? Do you know what I mean? And then you read the booklet. Stop selling to me. Like fucking absolute idiot.
No, but it is natural, and it's something that people don't really appreciate, I think, as much, because they think, oh, I'll just go into a restaurant, they're there to help me out, run the food, and to make my drinks, and that's it. But there's a natural sort of element there.
There has to be. It has to. If you don't connect with your waiter or your bartender, then you just don't have a very good experience. You can go as a professional, like when you're a professional waiter, you can tell when you walk up to a table if they want to be really served, talk to, if you want to ask them about their kids or their parents, or if they just want to be left alone. Some people just do want to be left alone. Yeah. And it's your job as a waiter to understand that. But still, upselling is necessary. Yeah. Because that will, like you say, increase their experience. That's just natural.
I also wanted to ask you as well, because obviously you've been like in hospitality since, you basically left school, and your mum's got a catering business, so you've always been involved in that type of area. What have you, like, that outside people wouldn't know that haven't worked in hospitality? What do you think is like kind of insider secrets that people wouldn't really think about as much?
we put our dicks in people's food less than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Like,
a good thing to know.
customers can be really horrible to us.
Mm.
It's part of the job to let it go, and and not put your dick in their food or tits
Or drinks.
or drinks. Yeah, definitely. It doesn't really happen that I've seen anyway. It's more of an American thing.
Is it?
Well, I guess so. It's always in American films and stuff, isn't it? And like, if you see I think it was. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what I saw.
Say what you saw.
I think. Oh, I saw a video of this lady. She was in a kitchen. I think she was having a bad time with a customer. I'm pretty sure. And she took her tampon out and then just messed with the food quite heavily.
Nice.
I was like, that's strong.
Yeah.
That's hate, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
you have to really hate someone to do that.
But it's also like, in that moment, you're just completely risking your entire job operation and potentially getting sued as well. Like, you know.
In America, yeah.
There was I saw another thing in America where somebody was really rude to some staff at like Starbucks or whatever. And they got a cold drink, and when they opened up the lid, there was a massive globule of spit on the inside, and so they took a photo of it. And it's like they complained to the management. It went like across America because it was like a massive story.
Yeah.
But and I mean, there was also, what was it, that guy that got done for terrorism for licking loads of products inside like a Walmart in the middle of COVID. He would just run his tongue across stuff and post it on TikTok.
And post it on the internet.
Yeah, he posted it on the internet of him just licking random stuff, and he got like jailed for technically like biological warfare of some degree.
Well, it was COVID times. That was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like in the UK, especially at the university that I was in, they used to have COVID parties where because everybody was locked up.
Yeah,
and
like smallpox parties. Not smallpox, sorry, chickenpox.
It wasn't the aim to get COVID. It was whoever was positive. You had to show a positive COVID lateral flow test on the day to get in. And everybody who had COVID went in and partied together because they were all ill, so they weren't scared. But the thing was, they could obviously get different strains of COVID.
Yeah.
And get double ill. So that's
ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. It was a thing that was going around, and they were like, well, the security can't come and knock in because we're having a COVID party, so therefore they're all going to get ill if they try and stop us. And they just had some really flawed logic with it, and were obviously just getting really drunk and doing drugs.
Yeah.
While still.
I mean, if I was at uni whilst COVID was around, I'd be surprised if I didn't still party.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, that was one of the biggest years of partying in my life. Because you go away from home, someone puts $1,000 in your bank, not you pay, no, government puts $1,000 in your bank, pays for a flat. I mean, you pay it back eventually. It's horrible, but and then you're like, right, I've got the whole city.
Yeah.
To do
and a
whatever
load
I
of
want.
money.
Yeah, and if they were like, "That you got to stay inside," I'd have been like,
"Fuck that." Yeah.
Dark web.
Yeah.
Straight away.
But yeah, so that was really mad at my uni that was going on.
That's crazy.
They had guys in hazmat suits coming in to like student flats. I've got a video of it on my phone.
So it's like China.
They were literally like fully white hazmat with an ambulance and going in, and they was all going around. But yeah, pretty mad.
Legends.
Yeah, I know.
To the legends.
Very
Cheers.
true. Cheers. And to the Caprina.
To the Caipirinha.
Oh. Right. We're going to head on to the next cocktail.
Amen, sister.
Next cocktail we're making is a cocktail that I found online called an Esmeralda. And I talked to James initially when I found it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because I was looking for other cachaça cocktails, because I thought the only cachaça cocktail I really know of is a Caprina.
Yeah.
And so I decided to do a little bit of digging. This one was on Difford's Guide online.
Nice.
And it's got cachaça, Saint Germain, so elderflower liqueur, Isla whiskey, so quite a peaty whiskey.
Yeah.
Lemon juice and cane sugar, so 2-to-1 sugar syrup.
Nice, yeah.
But I was thinking, as we don't have 2-to-1, we can either mix in a sugar cube, or we can just put a little bit more of 1-to-1.
It's a bit less in it.
Sorry?
So you make yours your way with your sugar method. I'll make mine way with my sugar method.
Okay. Yeah. No. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Because I just put less. I didn't know cane sugar meant 2-to-1. Is that what it means?
So I think pure cane sugar syrup is 2-to-1.
Okay, cool.
which is interesting. But I
Yeah,
realised we didn't actually have this on this bag bar,
Yeah, no, we
which is
don't.
very cool. But yeah, so measurements.
Yeah.
It's 50 cachaça.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's get them down it.
so it's cachaça, Isla whiskey. I was thinking of using the Freud
Yes.
as quite a peaty one.
It's a special occasion. We could use Lagavulin.
It's up to you. What do you reckon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I get up.
So yeah, cachaça, Saint Germain as well. Got that bad boy.
Yeah.
And then lime juice and sugar syrup, or however you want to do your sugar.
Yeah, perfect.
So start off with 50 ml of cachaça.
Oh, fuck me, it's going to be heavy. What glass are we using?
Coupe.
No, have we got 2 jigs?
Then you only use 10 ml of your peaty whiskey.
Yeah, definitely.
To try and not like overpower the flavour of it.
I would, with peaty whiskey, just use as little as possible. And if you want to add more, but 10 ml sounds good to me.
About 15 ml of elderflower liqueur.
15. Nice. And
then you want to use 15 ml of fresh pressed lime juice.
how many went? 15 ml?
Yeah.
Are we talking sugar?
It says 7.5 of 2 to 1. So 1 to 1 and 2 to 1 basically just means 1 to 1 equal parts sugar to water. 2 to 1 would mean 2 parts sugar to 1 part water.
Yeah.
So because it's
yeah, that's why I'm getting confused.
Yeah, that's why I thought you still thought to put less in. Yeah. Because it says 7.5 of 2 to 1, I'm just going to do 15 of 1 to 1 and shake it a little bit less. There's slightly less of that dilution in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna copy exactly what you did. I thought you were gonna sugar cube it up.
I thought about it, but then I don't know how much sugar is going to be in one of our sugar cubes, and they're various different sizes. So
I wouldn't actually be able to tell you how many grams, but
yeah. Thank you, Tyson.
pleasure.
I wonder whether there's going to be a colour difference between our two. Then you double strain in. What's your thoughts?
It's good. Mate.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do mine a little. Ooh, there is quite a difference. I think I overpowered a bit of the
Lagavulin.
yeah. Yeah. If you give a try mine, it's much more peaty. And you get less of those subtle flavours of the cachaça and the elderflower in there. Whereas yours has quite the finishing length of the...
Doesn't make any sense then. The only dark thing in it is that mine's darker.
Yeah.
It might just be because you got used to it with that flavour and then you tried that in a second.
But yeah, they say usually to garnish with a lime wedge, but we'll just do a dehydrated lime wheel on that one.
Dropped it in. Yeah. There you go.
I've got tongs as well.
You tongue it out. I'm a handy guy.
See, usually I prefer no thongs of at all, but I have to.
Yeah, it's much better.
Right.
Amazing.
There you
Let's
go.
drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, it's fun. Let's do this every day.
It is quite fun, to be fair.
Yeah.
Just make a cocktail, chat about it, and then just sit down and have a chat about random shit and diss gin and tonic drinkers.
Oh my god, I'm literally so many people. Yeah, so many people order gin and tonics, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking bland compared to if you just ask me to do something for you, I will change your evening potentially.
Yeah.
I can normally achieve that.
Well, that's why I like.
But it's alright because they make me more money and they take less time to make. So
That's why I enjoy making. Cheers.
cheers.
That's why I enjoy making French 75s for people who order gin and tonics. I go, you got a French 75?
Yeah.
And they're like, no. Oh, well, do you like Prosecco or Champagne, depending on,
how much you're going to charge it.
and then they go, oh, yeah, no, I don't mind Champagne, say, for example. Great, well, I've got a really nice cocktail. It's really light. It's got a double shot of gin in it, and it's topped up with champagne with a bit of lemon and a bit of sugar. They go, oh, yeah, no, I'll give that a try. And when my mum came in and we ended up having dinner together, I was like, you should really try French 75.
Yeah.
She likes her gin, but she doesn't like gin and tonics.
Yeah.
And I personally not a massive fan of people ordering like gins with lemonade as such. I think it's a very delicate thing that can be messed up quite a lot because I feel like it's too sweet.
A gin and lemonade means, when someone orders it, it means I really require a sweet drink to go with my alcohol. And that's okay. Like, some people just don't drink, they drink once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We drink every fucking day, or I do at least. So, and we like drinking Lagavulin and cachaça.
Yeah.
Whereas if they tasted that,
yeah, no.
they would hate it. So they mix the gin and like vodka lemonade is a classic uni drink, isn't it? That's what I was drinking at uni, pints of warm, of course.
Yeah.
And lemonade really helps people who they can't handle too much.
You know what I would say? For those of you who do drink spirits and lemonade, drink it with Sprite instead of normal lemonade. Sprite contains an enzyme that breaks down the metabolite of alcohol that makes you feel hungover.
Really?
So whenever I was at uni and I had a heavy night of drinking, I would always make sure to buy 2 liters of Sprite and keep it for the next day. And so I'd stick it in the fridge, it'd be cooling down overnight.
Yeah.
I'd wake up the next morning and I'd just drink like a liter of Sprite.
Yeah.
It made me burp like anything else because it's so like fizzy.
Yeah.
But it would slowly make me feel less worse throughout the day.
Yeah.
Because it's not actually the dehydration that causes you to feel hungover.
Yeah.
You could be perfectly hydrated, keep hydrated during the night drinking, which is really difficult anyway.
Yeah.
Wake up the next morning and still feel hungover.
Yeah.
Because when you break down the alcohol, the thing it breaks down into is actually toxic for your body, and that's what gives you the headache, the nausea.
Lack
all
of
that.
salt and stuff as well.
Yeah, like electrolytes as well.
Yeah, and there's the only way to not have a hangover. This is going to help a lot of people.
Okay,
Fuck me. So if people come up to the bar all the time, they go, oh, I don't want to have a rum cocktail. I want to have another gin one because I started on the gin, and if I stick to gin, I won't have a hangover. And I'm like, you're going to have a sugar come down. If you drink 8 cocktails in the evening, and that's, you're pissed at the end of it, you're going to then come down the next day from sugar. If you add like espresso martinis, rum and cokes, or Jaeger bombs onto that, which are full of caffeine, you're going to have a caffeine come down, and a sugar come down, and a fucking hangover.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so let's take the caffeine and take the sugar out of it. I mean, there is still sugar in beer, don't get me wrong, but if you stick to beer, just a nice clean lager, not too many hoppy pale ales, and then drink good tequila, or just a spirit you like. But I think tequila is the cleanest, the most accessible. Always buy top shelf. Never buy anything that's not 100% agave. It says it on the bottle.
It's difficult to find though in some places.
Yeah, but you just go to the good places.
No, true. I mean, to be fair,
don't order it in Witherspoon.
When I started, like, because you got me into tequila,
Yeah.
and then slowly now I've gone from tequila to graduating to whiskey, which I didn't like either at all before. Before I came working here, it's really difficult to go into a place and you go, yeah, sure, I'll have a pint, but then you have a look at the back bar and you go, what tequilas have they got? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
And it will usually be Jose Cuervo Gold, because the only time people will drink tequila is when they shot it.
Yes, unfortunately, but that's where you have to say, if you want a tequila, make sure you're in a good place. Not a good place, but most pubs now have at least one good tequila. It's normally Patron Silver, £6 a shot.
Yeah.
Whereas you're looking at £4.50 a shot for your bad tequila. That bad tequila, you're going to taste in the morning. The amount of people who I say, oh, you should try some of my tequilas. Like, in my house, tequila is off the chart. It's Aquariva.
It's a really nice tequila.
It's just fantastic. You put it on ice, and it's house. It cost me less than £30 a bottle. You can get it for less than £30 a bottle. But people go, oh, I can't drink tequila because of that one night when I was 18. And I'm like, you're 40.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell. And they go, yeah, no, it really messed me up. I could taste it in the morning is the classic thing. It's because you're drinking cheap tequila. You had 6 pints, 4 rum and cokes, 2 glasses of red wine, a Jaeger bomb, and 1 shot of tequila.
Anything
And
is
guess
good.
what's to blame?
Yeah.
It's the same. All this. I can't drink tequila. So just make sure when you drink tequila, you just drink a good tequila, not the best. Don't order the Classy Azul up there for £12 a shot. It's unnecessary. That's only for once a week or maybe once every fortnight.
Yeah.
But just order something that says 100% agave on the front, and you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, it does make a load of difference.
Massive, massive.
But yeah, I ended up going out on a night out, and everyone I was speaking to, I go, oh, we went to this cocktail place. Do you want to grab a cocktail? Oh, no, well, I don't want to grab a cocktail because I've been drinking beers all evening and I don't want to mix. Right?
Yeah.
And I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
And it really frustrates me because there's a paper that I read that's saying that mixing alcohols is a myth.
It is a myth. It's a myth.
Because it's all ethanol.
Yes.
All right? And people saying that tequila is a stimulant and it's not a depressant. It's the only alcohol that's not depressant was ethanol, and ethanol is a depressant.
Absolutely.
So it's absolutely going to be.
Yeah.
And the thing is that when you're mixing drinks, if you have, like you said earlier, 4 pints, 4 rum and cokes, 2 glasses of red wine, and a Jaeger bomb and tequila shot.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't have that much. I only had X amount. But if you kept on beers all that evening and you calculated how many beers you had from that, oh, I had 12 pints of beer to 13 pints of beer, and you go, well, actually, that wouldn't make me feel as rough as I'm feeling now. It makes sense. It's not because you mixed. It's just harder for you to keep track of how much you're drinking.
Yeah.
Which is why if you are going to mix, just make sure you know how much you are drinking. You go, oh, actually, I finished that double rum and coke quicker than I would finish a pint.
Yeah.
I finish a pint in about half an hour. I should probably wait a bit before I have another drink. Otherwise, you're just going to keep going for shorter and shorter drinks, and then shots because they're easier to drink, get you drunk quicker, etc., etc.
And don't be scared of water.
Yeah.
So I get this quite a lot with basically get it a lot with free bars. So you've got a bar, it's completely free. It's at a wedding. You can drink 15-year-old whiskey. You can drink any gin you want. It's like sorry, touch the thingy.
It's fine.
You can drink whatever you want. I can touch the thing. And they come up to the bar, they go, can you make me a water, but make it look like a gin and tonic? And I'm like, yeah, of course, no worries. And I always did it, but I always, if I had the opportunity, said, okay, so without water, I cannot make any of these drinks behind me. And after you drink all of these drinks behind me, the only drink you want to drink is water. Water is the best drink in the world. We're literally made of it. So like, never be scared of drinking water. And that's hangover advice. If you don't take that advice, then I'll be surprised.
Yeah, no, it's very true. I'm
going to be hungover tomorrow, that's for sure.
No, definitely. Got a staff party later as well, which is going to be interesting. So, just going back to your sugar come down and caffeine come down thing to do with the hungover bit. I had a mate at uni who, so my girlfriend came up to uni to come and visit me. And we decided to go out to this tequila bar because they do a happy hour between, you can get 2 for 1 on tequila, 2 for 1 on Mexican beers. So you can get, I can get 2 double Aquavita Blancos on ice and 2 Coronas for like 8-9 quid.
That's uni price.
Yeah,
that's
know,
fine.
Right?
Yeah,
it's like,
that's amazing.
I can't even remember. I think it's like 6 to 7 units of alcohol.
Yeah.
For about 8 to 9 quid, so it's nearly £1 a unit. Like paying £1 for a shot. It's such good value.
Yeah.
And it's the same with like margaritas, tequila sunrise, like any cocktails like that. They do 2 for 1 as well. I obviously just stuck with the tequila because I tried their cocktails once and I was like, they're very busy. And I don't trust that if something does go wrong, they're going to taste it.
That's another thing as well. If they're so busy, order something simple.
Yeah.
Don't fucking order an old fashioned.
Yeah, very true.
Whoever walks into a bar, sees a bartender's absolutely stressed and goes, can I have an old fashioned, please? Fuck off, mate. Like, literally. Yeah, I'll make you an old fashioned, but it's got sugar syrup.
Yeah,
you know, because everyone else is going to have to wait because you chose.
Yeah.
Choose a daiquiri, please.
Yeah, so we went there. We started pre-drinking at mine. He turned up literally just as about as we were meant to leave, and he had a 2 litre bottle of like Pepsi, full fat Pepsi, and like half a litre of rum with him. And I go, do you want to leave that in mine? He goes, no, I haven't pre-drank. So he drinks half a litre of Pepsi just like that, pours the alcohol in, takes it with us. We walk 5 minutes to the bus stop, 10 minutes down the road on the bus to the tequila bar. And in that time, he's drank all of that like pre-mixed rum and coke that he's done.
Bit of a legend.
And so anyway, he goes in, he orders some drinks, leaves them at the table, goes after the toilet. I don't see him for half an hour.
Yeah.
And I go, I know he's a heavyweight, but I'm not sure he's throwing up. Like, he's taking too long. If he would throw up, he'd just go throw up and come back. He's that type of guy.
Tactical. Yeah.
So I went in, and he was just sitting down on the toilet, like, really fucked. And I was like, what's up? And he goes, I drank too much sugar at one time. I get massive pain across the back of my shoulders.
Oh.
He said, every time I have too much sugar, I get massive pain across here.
Yeah.
And it really, really hurts, like I've broken something.
Fuck, man.
And so I stayed with him for a bit. Some people come in and think that he's giving me a blowjob in the toilet.
Standard.
Yeah, you know, as per in the men's toilet.
20 quid's 20 quid.
Exactly. 2 litres of Pepsi, all it takes. And so he managed to get right after that. Goes, oh yeah, I'm just going to, you know, hop to the bathroom and go and see the nose doctor.
Yeah.
And then comes back out, falls all the way down the stairs on his already bad back. And I was like, mate, just call it a night there. And he actually came out with us, and I was very surprised. But he woke up the next morning, and he was all bruised down his back.
Mate.
But I was like, your hangover must be horrendous.
To be fair, I do remember my uni days. I wasn't any better.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I'd be paralytic before I fucking even left the flat to go out. Yeah. I think it was more nerves for me. Everyone thought I was like, oh, Budgie's fucking, you know, the party animal. He's always so outgoing and stuff. And in fact, I wasn't. I was just always pissed.
Yeah.
Like, I was just so nervous. I'd just get smashed. And that's how I would socialize. And so, people have just known me to be drunk most of my uni life.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if you're not drunk or doing drugs at uni, then you're studying, which sounds as much fun as the rest.
I did quit after 8 months, so yeah, you can see where it went. Yeah, you are correct in that opinion, definitely.
But there is just a lot of pressure at university to just go to excess as well.
Yeah, and be involved with like popular people. And when you get older, you realise it doesn't really matter. But when you're 21 or even 19, Jesus Christ, that's the most important. You're 22, is that right?
21.
20. Fuck. It's a huge pressure. I found that pressure massive and really distracting.
Yeah.
You seem to be handling it a lot better than I did.
Yeah, I think it's just from upbringing and just being around parents that are very mature. My parents always say that when I started to get like from 10 upwards, they go, we're starting to treat you like an adult.
Yeah,
you need to behave like an adult.
Yeah. Because
if you don't, then you're just going to behave like a child for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Until you figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
So I quite credit them for that. Because,
I like that.
They always tried to discuss things with me and always never patronized me as such. And I think that's made quite a lot of difference towards.
I think I had similar. You know, I was very entrepreneurial when I was a kid. I had a sweet shop when I was 8 years old.
Nice.
My mum and dad had a car boot sale. So I used to go to the local cash and carry, or, you know, where you buy wholesale foods. And then I'd get discounted sweets.
Yeah.
And as an 8-year-old, I started doing accounts. Well, not accounts, but costing of products. I'd write down the cost of a penny sweet, and then I was selling it for a penny, so whatever it cost me. Then I could work out my margins.
Yeah. At 8 years old.
8 years old. I did it without my parents were running their own company, and so I got it from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was 8 years old, and then I was always selling sweets at school and stuff. But so they did treat me. They gave me the benefit of the doubt, treat me like an adult too, and I really thank them for that.
Were you the guy that was meeting in the boys changing rooms and dealing sweets?
Yes.
Yeah.
But even better. So you know the penny sherbets you can get, we used to get.
They're like blue ones.
Well, I think the multicolored, the ones I used to get, they're only penny ones. You're thinking about the long ones.
I'm thinking about the what is it, the blue wrapping sherbet where they're like refreshers type thing.
No, sherbet sticks. They're like they're little
yeah.
sherbet like tubes filled with sherbet.
Mm-hmm.
You open the top and you just fucking do that.
They were great.
No, so
Amazing.
I was selling sweets in one school, and then I moved to another school, and it was harder to sell sweets because I didn't have a locker.
Yeah.
Because in the first school, if you open my locker, it was full of gobstoppers, cans of Coke. It would have a range of things, and people knew me for it. So I would have regular customers, basically.
Yeah.
Parents, the kids with parents with money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who had 20p to spare on the dance floor.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's where you got all your money.
But then, so I went to the second school, and I would buy about 5 packs, which would cost me about £2.50 a pack a day. And before I got to school, I would have sold 5 packs, which is 250 penny sweets.
Oh my god!
On the school bus. And then these kids would go off, they'd buy a pack off me, and they'd sell them for 5p each. So they're working on 5 times the cost.
Yeah.
And 10 times the cost sometimes, one for 10p. You got 10p in your pocket, you give someone 10p for a sweet.
Yeah, no.
And so it got so ridiculous. So I remember I was in assembly once. You couldn't walk around the school without seeing these littered everywhere. Like, it was crazy. I bet there's still some there now. And I sat in assembly once, and the headmaster or whoever was important, I can't fucking remember, was like, if we find anyone selling these, you will be instantly suspended.
Really? You're that bad?
Yeah, but I sold them all before we got to school.
True.
I was selling them on the school bus.
Yeah, so you never got caught.
Well, I couldn't get caught. I was off school property.
Yeah.
Well, essentially. You know, there's no teachers on the school bus.
There used to be
perfect crime.
There used to be a kid at my school that used to sell Terry's chocolate oranges.
Yeah.
For £2 a piece.
I was going to say segment by segment.
And so it was a perfect thing to buy as a kid because you had a whole Terry's chocolate orange. Yeah. It would last you a whole day because there's so many segments. Plus, they're so rich.
Yeah.
And he would just buy massive 24 packs from like Macro.
Yeah.
His parents would take him there, and then he would just sell them at school.
Perfect.
And so, yeah, a lot of entrepreneurial stuff happens at school, and the schools just shut them down.
Well,
when they can.
Yeah, when you can. I mean, it's a shame.
Yeah.
There should be an opportunity for kids to make stuff and sell it on.
I think it becomes from the point of view that, this is my personal view, if you're having someone that's getting something that's easily accessible and selling to people that want it very easily,
yeah, it
becomes fairly similar to dealing drugs.
Yeah.
That was my view when I was at school. I could see why they were starting to shut it down, but they shouldn't shut down the entrepreneurial side to it.
Definitely.
Because they see a market, they know what they need to buy, and they know what they need to price it at.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I don't really understand why schools.
Well, you sell drugs now, so.
Yeah, true, but legal drugs.
Legal drugs.
Yeah. What did you think of the Esmeralda?
I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it was a good
really
drink.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it helped that it breathed a bit.
Yeah, I think you might be right, because when I first tasted it, I was like, that is lovely. There was nothing wrong with it, and it was balanced and everything. But I was like, that's. I wanted, my instinct was add more sugar and more lime to it.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, just because the
more flavour.
Yeah. And in fact, that was perfect because it really let everything else come through the drink. It was. I think fantastic, great
as well. The first sip, you get hit with all the peatiness of the whiskey.
Yeah.
But as you start to drink it, you get used to that level.
Yeah.
And so therefore you start to be able to tell the other notes of the cachaça, the elderflower liqueur, and the lime coming through as well.
Definitely.
So, yeah, no, really nice drink.
Well done.
No, it's just something that I found online. So thank you to Difford's Guide.
It's a Gifford's Guide or Difford's Guide?
Might be Gifford's, actually.
Yeah.
Or Difford's.
Difford's.
Yeah.
I know that thing.
Yeah, it's actually what I use to just look up cocktails sometimes. That and liqueur.com.
Liqueur.com is my go-to.
Yeah, but Difford's Guide has some cool, interesting ones.
Okay, amazing.
Might turn out to be Gifford's, and I've just been saying them this entire time. But
well, if it was Gifford, they wouldn't have used
Saint Germain.
So,
yeah,
unless because I'd be surprised if they don't have an elderflower liqueur.
I don't think they do.
But there wasn't any of their ingredients in it, unless they have a cane sugar.
It was Monin. cane sugar.
There you go. So it wasn't them.
No, I don't think it would be at all. But yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
The next drink. Let's fucking make the next drink.
I keep trying to look at my watch, and I realise I'll have more watch at home. So I completely just trying to look at my wrist, and be like, oh yes, it's hair past wrist.
I think we should. I think we should get on with the next drink.
Yeah,
because I can feel those drinks coming through me now.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially considering the ones that we did before when we weren't recording.
Yeah, they were good.
For context, we spent about 20 minutes recording and chatting through it.
Yeah.
And we weren't recording at all.
The mics were off.
Yeah.
Due to a mic check, ironically.
Yeah. That was funny. If we didn't do the mic check, we would have been absolutely fine, which is very funny.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, have you got? Do you want to take me through a cocktail? Have you got one in mind? Something that you?
I don't. But let's talk. Let's have a look at the back bar. Cocktail. So I always go to 1920s. What did we make the other day? Benedictine cocktails. Go on, let's make something up with Benedictine. Let's create something.
Yeah, because we went through what was it?
Sorry, I dropped it down.
Monte Carlo.
Yes, it was the Monte Carlo,
which was a Benedictine old fashioned, wasn't it? I'm just gonna come across here and have a look at the back bar.
Yeah, sure. Let's get rid of these. So I reckon. Well, I was going to try it with that. But let's just taste it properly. So Benedictine is one drink I've had.
You tried it, Nick?
No, that's one.
I tell you what I think of it after we try it together.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Yeah. You got an idea? Was that?
No, I understand the drink now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first tried it, it was in a room temperature tumbler, not cold.
Yeah.
And the way it really came through to me was more Campari mixed with green chartreuse.
Yeah. Similar,
like herbally flavors, but with a bit more bitterness. But that's much more sweet than chartreuse and Campari.
Yes. Yes, it is. But that's probably because of the lower. Oh, and it's 40.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's very sugary.
Yeah, really sugary. You described it perfectly. Campari mixed with chartreuse, because I just never. Why have I not ever had this behind the bar? I'm already frustrated. Not frustrated, but I'm really surprised about myself.
Yeah, well, the reason it kind of got brought in was because a customer came in and ordered a Singapore Sling.
Yeah. And
we couldn't make it because it didn't have any Benedictine.
When I looked at the recipe for a Singapore Sling, it didn't have any in.
Really?
What's the ingredients? Grenadine, orange juice, vodka.
I think
Singapore.
It uses is it cherry brandy?
Cherry brandy. Yeah, we don't have any of that.
Yeah. Although the closest thing we probably have is, I guess, muscat brandy, which is pisco.
Yes.
So I wondered whether you could do something along the lines.
I'm thinking. So I listened to. It was on the radio. There was a king in the 50s. Oh, sorry, mic check. It's not green. Oh, it's green.
Yeah, it's all good.
Mic check. There's a king in the 50s who his favourite. We should swap places, shouldn't we?
That's alright, doesn't matter. If you want to, I'm not fussed. Anyway, carry on. King of the 50s.
King of the 50s. Not the king of the 50s. That was Elvis. King in the 50s.
Yeah.
His favourite drink was a brandy sour.
Okay.
You ever made a brandy sour?
I've never made a brandy sour.
Me fucking either.
Well, because we were trying to create a new drink that was going to go on the menu, and we tried meddling with a sidecar sour, didn't we?
Yes.
Which would have been similar along the lines of it. It didn't end up working. So you're thinking of making an Armagnac sour with Benedictine.
Yeah.
As opposed to the sugar syrup. So
no. It would have to be as well as.
Okay.
You can't. It would be way too overpowering.
So, in typical with sours, it's usually a double of whatever spirit that you want to use. If it's amaretto, disaronno, so for example, 50 ml of disaronno, 25 lemon and 25 sugar. But obviously, disaronno is quite sweet within itself, so you'd put less sugar in it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be balanced enough, and it would taste way too sweet.
Correct.
So yeah, you want to do a whiskey sour, then 50 whiskey, 25 lemon, 25 sugar.
Do you know the actual rule is 1.5 parts to 1 part to half part?
Is it?
Yeah,
That's the way I've always been taught to do a sour.
but the way you're doing it correct. Maybe you're using maybe my rule is using cane sugar. I've got no fucking voice anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Red lorry, yellow lorry.
Just talking for a while. It's just
I think it's the booze, to be honest.
very much my idea.
But so yeah, the first cocktail book I ever had. This tastes like shit, to be fair. But I'm gonna do something with it.
Yeah, go on. Your creativeness.
Yeah, let's see. What was I saying?
You were talking about
So the first cocktail book I ever had. Someone gave it to me called Duarte. I was living on a little island. I showed my interest, and he really enjoyed drinks and hospitality, and then he was like, "Oh, I'll give you this book." And in it said that recipe. So like to make a sour, instead of going rum sour, vodka sour, whiskey sour, and going down and it just goes, a sour is 1.5 part spirit, 1 part citrus, half part sugar.
interesting.
And I'm guessing they were using, because we don't use those measurements here. We would use, like you said, 25 ml to 20 ml sugar, lemon juice to sugar syrup, and adjust it accordingly. You drink it. Do you know what I mean? You would drink it.
Well, so this is James's thing. Whenever somebody comes up to the bar and asks him to make a cocktail for them and tells them what they like, he'll just throw some things together, and they'll really fucking like it. It'll be their favorite cocktail, and then he won't remember how to make it later. He'll know what was used in it, but you can't recreate it.
If they tell me the ingredients, if they tell me if they go, oh, it was like got blueberry or it was in that glass, I'll go, okay. I'm pretty sure I know where I was at in that state of mind when I made it. Let's see what you think.
Looks pretty nice.
1920s style glass, double strain, so it's kind of like a sidecar, but with Benedictine instead. We could add some Cointreau, maybe that would make it better.
No, that's nice.
It is nice. It is pleasant. So the key is just balancing the sugar and the citrus, and yeah.
Do you remember what you did with it?
Yeah.
So, how would you make it?
Armagnac,
Don Benedictine.
So Armagnac, use a good brandy. Whether it's Armagnac, cognac, or brandy, doesn't matter. Just a good one. Because if you add shit ingredients to your drinks, it's going to taste like shit, right? That was 25 ml to 15 ml. So 25 ml brandy, 15 ml Benedictine. And then I put 25 ml lemon juice in. And then adjusted the sugar accordingly, because Benedictine's got a lot of sugar in. So then I put about 15 ml sugar in. That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And it's quite clean, because usually a sour, you'd put egg whites or foaming bitters or some type of foaming agent in there to give that nice light texture on top.
Yeah.
But it's quite clean, having it presented in a 1920s cocktail glass with no foam on top.
That's it. I mean, Instagram's all about clarified drinks these days. I'm not saying that's clarified, but it's kind of
It's all like clarified lime juice, and
people say to me, "Oh, it's not a sour unless you put egg white in it." I'm like, "Well, egg white's tasteless." So, 2 seconds.
Somebody's calling up the manor when they're closed.
Sorry, Mum. I'm just doing a podcast. Can you? Just give me 20 minutes, okay? Cheers.
Mother on the phone.
Yeah. She's always calling me at work. Frustrating. I'm a 33-year-old man, you know.
Yeah.
I think you fucking hell. Anyway.
You get to work safe.
Yeah. How did you?
Sausage casserole.
Have you got cold feet? Hope you clean behind your ears.
I can give you a coat if you want.
That's fucking good.
That's a really nice cocktail. And you can't really taste the Benedictine as much.
Yes.
Personally.
It's in the background, but it gives it everything. If you just added... Well, I made a brandy sour and I added some of that to it. That's all I did. But I guess it gives it more mouth.
Yeah, as opposed to just having a typical brandy sour where you have hints of the brandy, but it's mostly masqueraded by the citrus and the sweetness.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of a sour as such. You're meant to have
Yeah.
notes of the alcohol, but also have that citrus and that lemon to make it slightly easier to drink.
Definitely. Yeah.
But having the Benedictine as well gives it slightly more length than just a typical.
I think, yeah, exactly. Length is the perfect word for that.
Which is something I didn't really understand when we started making cocktails. And James spoke to me about it, and he when he was making cocktails, he'd go, "Try this," and so I'd try it, and he'd go, "What's that missing?" And he goes, "I think it's missing length," and I didn't really understand it. But it's more, if you taste a cocktail, and it's just, oh yeah, I get a real taste of brandy, then that's it, and it finishes, and it doesn't leave a lingering taste, then you might as well just have brandy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you need to have, like, even brandy's got those notes where it's like, you can get vanilla or like, you know, slight smokiness, whatever, that continues off after you finish the drink that wants you to go back for more.
Absolutely.
And that really makes a difference in terms of a cocktail to create the want to have more.
Definitely. And I got the length information from wine. So wine, there's a few different things into it. I'm not going to pretend I know, because I don't.
I don't know a lot about wine either. But
I have sold a shit ton of wine. I can sell any wine list, but I don't know about wine. It's the more I start to learn, the more vast it gets. Of course, with every subject, it's the same.
Yeah.
But that's where I learned length from. To put length inside your cocktails, I think is very important.
Wow, I'm actually thinking about getting. I think Matt Williamson, who is he has a level 3 in wine, so is much more qualified to speak about wine than either of us.
Absolutely, he teaches me. He taught me length.
Yeah, so he wants to come on and talk about it. So we might have a wine episode coming on soon about how to know how certain things smell, how to know whether it's been corked.
Yeah.
All of those bits.
What corked is?
Yeah,
that's my favorite. That's not my favorite thing, but it's a fun thing about selling wine. Go to a table, you go, "Would you like to try the wine?" "Oh no, it's fine. We know it's not corked because it's got a screw cap." And I'm like, corked means oxygen has got to the wine.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate telling someone they're wrong.
Yeah.
Especially a customer who's going to fucking tip me 20 quid. But if I feel appropriate, if I feel like they can accept the information, I will then go, actually, it just means oxygen has got to the wine. And there's a huge difference between cork and screw top. It's correct. You're much less likely to have a corked wine with a screw top, but it's still possible.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole phrasing becomes because they didn't used to have screw tops. They just used to always cork wine.
Absolutely.
And when the cork would start to give way, oxygen would go through it. You define it as corked.
Yes.
And so therefore people think it can only happen with a cork.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be quite interesting to be able to get him on to talk about, but for me to learn a lot of stuff as well as him to be able to talk.
100%.
Because we had a massive conversation the other day about English wines and the difference between how English wines should taste in comparison to other areas like Old World and New World.
Yeah.
Because most red wine comes from hot areas. You know, Chile, Argentina,
Australia.
Yeah, Australia and New Zealand. I mean, wine comes from New Zealand as well. Like, they do a lot of good Sauvignon Blancs down there.
He'll tell you a lot about soils and specific rivers as well. I just find that funny. Because some of the places where the wine's grown, it's like a specific soil, and more fresher soil comes down the river, and that gives the wine something different that people who know a lot about wine, like Matt does, he knows a lot about wine, he's a fucking legend, that he'll go, "Ooh, there's notes of Flint in there and stuff," and I'm like, And so I love it.
I was discussing with my parents
because there's no right or wrong answer. Sorry.
They drink a lot of French red.
Yeah.
Because my mother's French. Like, she likes the odd Italian or like Spanish, like Old World wine. She's not as much a fan of New World.
Yeah.
They always say whenever they drink Australian wines, they get headaches.
Yeah, it's a headache express. My French friend calls Australian wine headache express.
Yeah.
It's fucking true. It's true.
But anyway, they were saying how on, like, say for example, in a Bordeaux, or you can have an Oak Medoc, or you can have a Saint-Emilion and all this type of stuff. And I was like, I don't really understand, because usually they go by what type of grape they use.
Yeah.
And so, you you know, if you're having a Merlot, you know roughly how a Merlot should taste, even if it's from a different area, you know the type of grape, and you'll be able to taste those differences.
Yeah.
But when you start to get the things that are just the name of the chateau that makes it, and their blends of grapes, they go, oh yeah, so this wine and this wine, which we actually tried on Christmas Day, they go, so this wine is from the left-hand side of the Loire Valley, and this is from the right-hand side of the Loire Valley. And I go, what difference does it make? They go, well, try it first. And I go, I'm not that good at wine. I can't really taste as much of a difference as you're expecting.
Always try though, come on.
I did try it. And they were like, it makes a lot of difference because it's the amount of sunlight they receive, it's how high they are, it's the type of soil, how often they replant different grapes in different areas, which is something that my granddad talked a lot because he was very interested in vegetables. Don't plant the same crop in the same place because they all take different nutrients out.
Definitely.
So if you use different grapes in different areas, then there might be a cycle that you can use, and there's a lot of interesting stuff about it that people don't realize as much.
Oh, so much. Good stuff and interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And then at least you can then enjoy a holiday in France if you like wine.
Yeah. Go for a wine tasting for 3 different vineyards in one day and get absolutely smashed. But you know what you're talking about.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, well, I appreciate you coming on, James.
Are we finished?
I think so.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, as a pilot, it's very nice to just come on and just, you know, make some cocktails, have a chat, and basically have a chat how me and you would with our camera.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
I think we, yes, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. You're a legend.
Best of luck in Australia.
Thank you.
James is going off to Australia as part of a magician cocktail show thing, which is the best way I can describe it.
It's a Japanese magic bar. It's a show that you can see in Sydney or Adelaide or Newcastle. I'm just making drinks. The magicians are the true heroes of the show. It's good. It should be fun. It's called Maho Magic Bar.
But yeah, so if you are within those areas, I would recommend going. From all the stories I've heard from him, it sounds like a fucking amazing time, and I'm disappointed I can't go.
We'll bring it to the UK one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's it's a great crack.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it if you come along.
Good. Well,
love you, man.
I love you. Boom. I fucking need a piss so bad.
Yeah, I need a piss too.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go to the ladies.